Hey guys, what's up? Hope everybody's having a good day today. Just trying to do some housekeeping on this thing before we go to live. But yeah, so hold on, trying to figure this mess out. It's the first time going live, so bear with me. But yeah, all right, so more or less, moral of the story is I was taking side skirts off to sell them, and I found some rust spots, roughly the size of like about a quarter on each rocker. It kind of makes sense as to why it has such a terrible paint job. I think they just slapped some Bondo on it just to slap some paint on there and to sell it off. So it kind of makes sense in retrospect whenever you start like going through and figuring things out. But yeah, so more or less we're gonna be setting up and we're gonna be doing some patch panels tonight. I don't know how far we'll get. It is getting later. I'm in the US and it's almost 10 o'clock, so we're gonna see what we can get done. Can't promise you we'll get done tonight, but we may end up being able to get done probably Thursday night. I'll probably start another live stream. So we really don't have anybody in here right now, but just trying to get everything figured out. This is my first time, so but I'm gonna move over here and go ahead and start. There's not really anybody in here. I do have my tablet, so I'll be trying to reply to everybody as they come in, if they come in, and then just go from there. Give me 1 second, and I'll get back over here. Like I said, this is my first time, so I'm trying to figure this mess out. So just bear with me. But yeah, how's everybody doing? Is everybody having a good week so far? I did get to go by my tuner's house today and grab my EMAP canister. So more or less while we were on the dyno, we were having some strange issues. More or less the intake pulses were giving us bad feedback. Hold on, I'm gonna switch over a little bit to this onboard mic. Hopefully this mic's a little bit better. What's up, King of the Hatch? So, yeah, wiring harness, I gotta go in, finalize that. More or less, we left it. I keep saying more or less. I don't know. I'm kind of awkward on camera whenever I don't have the ability to edit. But as far as the wiring harness, yeah, it is bare right now. It doesn't have looming on it. We're gonna end up looming it up. I just wanted to kind of finalize. The other mic sounded better. Yeah. All right. How's that? Is that good? Hopping back over here. Does that sound pretty good? Word. All right. Word. But yeah, let me hop over here and I'll show you the awkwardness of doing live stream. But yeah, so the harness, yes, it is bare. I did want the ability to be able to loom it after the fact. In the event I had an issue in which I had to do a wiring overlay on the dyno, Yeah, so the mic, I was running a H1N field recorder, so it was pointed the opposite direction. I had it set up for whenever we start work here in a minute. But so this is what I got going on. I wanted the ability to be able to do a wiring overlay should I need it on the dyno. I wasn't necessarily sure what kind of issues that we would run into while we were at the dyno, so I didn't want to have a fully committed wiring harness, before the fact. But today I was able to run by my tuner's house, and he had ordered me in. I think it was Boost Doc or somebody. Don't quote me on that. Race spec. So it's an EMAP canister. It's typically ran over here on the manifold or the turbine, or not the turbine, the turbine housing, not the compressor. But it's typically ran on there, and you're measuring back pressure on that. It more or less gives you an idea as if your turbo is sized correctly for your engine and your application. If not, you'll be getting a lot of back pressure on it. But what we're running over here for is with this port here on my map sensor, it's too close to the actual valve train. So we were getting back feed as far as intake pulses. It was actually registering on the map sensor. So we were having an issue with getting an actual clean reading on the map sensor. So with this guy, more or less it's a little cylinder, stainless steel cylinder that's filled with steel wool, and it dampens the pulses that are going to be registered on the map sensor. So hopefully you get a little bit cleaner signal. But yeah, a couple things I'm going to end up doing here soon. I'm going to pull over and I'm going to pull the intake manifold off and powder coat that guy. It's just kind of strange looking, looks out of place just being bare aluminum. I'm going to go through and actually sandblast and Cerakote the throttle linkages. And we'll probably do illusion purple on the actual plenum. We'll probably do chrome on the runners, just to kind of contrast the purple here. And the balance tube, probably going to do illusion purple. And then the throttle linkages, we're going to do Cerakote, probably like a satin black, not to kind of take away from the intake plenum. So that's kind of the plan there. The throttle linkages are spray painted. I'm not going to lie. You can see how it's starting to peel off. But the cool thing with Cerakote is so thin. This is actually Cerakote. This is burnt bronze. So I broke over and I actually bought way too much burnt bronze. I was doing a couple guns, and this stuff goes a long ways. So that's literally all that I've used out of this large container. So that'll be interesting to see how far that goes. But I did do the strut bar. It looks pretty awesome. It has like a small sheen to it, and I really like the way it looks. The plan was to do my 57 DRs, my Ray Graham wheels, but that didn't really work out because, well, I'm using this stove here to do all my powder coating. This is a couple pieces that I have done this past week for a friend. We're just doing everything white there. White seems to be pretty popular, but I'll show you the rust spot that we're having an issue with. So I couldn't figure out why we had such a terrible paint job on this car whenever I got it. It's kind of making sense. Kind of narrowed it down to being like a duplicate paint job. That's stuff that you get at Advance. It's pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. It looks like the that weird clear that they have where it's almost like a chameleon color, but it's not. Whoever did it did a terrible job. It's separating here. That looks like it was literally from zero prep. And then some wise individual decided to paint these rear quarter classes. So I got a lot of work to do here. we're going to end up buying new quarter glasses that will end up coming with these gaskets here. They're actually made onto the glass, so I can't really do anything. I tried saving them. Unfortunately, the paint did bond to the rubber a lot better than it actually bonded to the body. So not everything's like pretty here. So luckily, the plan is I can actually take a torch and heat this up, and this comes right off. I'll show you on the other side real quick. So I was heating it up a little bit, and it comes right off. So I've been rolling these fenders, and then here's a rust repair that we actually already did. Little patch panel. You can barely tell, actually. So we'll go in there, finish welding that up, run another bead across this, ground this smooth, and then hit it with some glazing compound, and then obviously epoxy prime it, and then be done with that. The other things that we got to do is this Odyssey battery. It works good, but this guy's I had the first generation. This is obviously a second generation that they came out with, and this guy has less cranking amps than the other ones. So we're gonna actually end up going back to the stock battery. I'm gonna be building a little battery box here and then securing it and all powder coating it and making everything nice. Forgive the power cord here. We're gonna end up going in and finalizing this guy. I really want to do hard lines for the fuel lines. This just does not really look good at all. It works. It got us through the dyno, but I'd like to have the ability to have a full interior in the trunk, and I may make a panel, a little closeout panel over here on the side, and have the fuel pump and the fuel filter over here on the side. Either that or to like dampen down some of the noise. It kind of got annoying after a while. Pumps and the filter mounted there. Of it. I do have full interior. I just have to put in. But here is the rust spot. Pretty nasty, actually. There, and then probably about an inch in depth. So the plan is to literally cut this thing out and then go back in with some sheet metal that we have here, and then make a little patch panel and just weld that in. It's kind of what I've got to go through and knock out. As you can see, it's just kind of rotten. And I'm thinking that was, aside from them trying to physically cover it up, as you can see, there's Bondo here. I think this is literally one of the anchor points for the side skirt. And then just as time progressed, water got trapped in there and had no way of escaping, so it just kind of rotted that area right there. So I'm gonna try and make a patch panel for that. But as far as the engine bay, we got the engine bay sorted. Really, the engine bay is good as far as everything I'm wanting to do. Like I said, I do want to powder coat the intake manifold. I am going to pull the power steering pump off. This was kind of an odd deal that we had going on. So we got 26 bracket. We got a 25 power steering pump. And then we had an issue with the spacing on the pulley on the RB25 Neo power steering pump. It protruded at higher RPMs. It just spit it out. So hit the guys up over at Rostec, got the billet pulley, converts it, and threw that guy on there. It definitely makes a... And I also did this homebrewed little idle pulley that I ended up doing, and it works great. In RPMs, we just throw a belt off, and then we'd lose power steering. So I got to finalize this guy. More or less this little copy of the Rostec. Go through and finalize this, powder coat everything, EMAP dampener today. So we should have a little bit cleaner signals as far as on the map sensor, where we were getting feedback from the intake pulses. So that should help out a little bit. because our horsepower ratings would deviate each run. More or less, we chalked it down to just a bad map sensor, or not a map sensor, but a bad map signal. So that should help out a lot. We're going to end up going to away from this Turbonetics 60-1. It's just old technology. It's not helping us in any way. Hopefully, we're going to end up going to either a G25 or a G30. It's just newer technology, and it's going to a lot quicker, and then it's going to allow us to hit our horsepower goals. We are running stock manifold that we modified to run external gate. I don't know where I'm going to stand on that. I'd like to go in and throw a top mount manifold on there just to make more power. Just do less back pressure, but that's probably going to be in the future. So we're going to come back here and try to start on this guy. Get you set up here so you can actually see what we got going on. Definitely a different animal. It's not for everybody. And honestly, I'm not showing anybody in here, so just a heads up. If I go silent, it's because I'm showing 0 people in the lobby to actually viewing this. But so I'm a little tab here. I'm gonna try and chat with everybody. Let me know how this goes. We'll switch over to the. So, does that sound better? Mic test. It's working. All right, so we're gonna try and get an idea going here. This is literally the only. Hold on, let me turn this guy down. Alright, so we know that we're going to end up having to cut this panel out here. I'm going to probably try and clean this up a little bit. Some genius decided to throw some Bondo in there. I don't know if that will pop right out or not. Yeah, it will. So I'm going to have to go in and cut out. Oh, there you go. Keeps kicking me out. You need to remove all the rust. First and foremost, you need to cut it out, and then you need to go in and seal it. That way it doesn't spread. Because if it's allowed to spread, you're gonna have an issue where it just turns to cancer and it's gonna start chasing stuff. As you can see right here, it's starting to chase up the rocker. So we're gonna go in and cut this guy out. And then also right in here, you can see where it's just spreading. So we're gonna try and cut this out, and then we're going to clean all this up in the backside, and then seal the backside with some epoxy primer. So epoxy primer works great as far as sealing the metal. And then we can obviously weld the patch panel over it, and then epoxy this guy once we get our patch panel in that again. So cutting this guy out, clean the rust up on the backside, epoxy prime it, weld the patch panel in, epoxy prime that, and then the body coating or body filler over that. That way the epoxy primer is going to seal the metal, and even if there's separation or moisture gets between the body filler and the actual bare metal, then we'll be safe still. And circumventing the possibility of this spreading. It's kind of like washing your hands, spread up sicknesses. So it's kind of what we're shooting for. Hammer, mass, obviously nothing too crazy. Sorry, this is. Alright, so I'm just gonna try and get something drawn up here. As far as but yeah, how's everybody's day going? I'm trying to juggle two things going on. I've never live streamed, so I'm trying to juggle live streaming, learning how to do that, and then also actually working and then giving a decent video that people actually find entertaining. So yeah, a lot going on. But that it's a lot larger spot than what I initially thought. I'm gonna try and get something drawn up here. I do want to stay away from this body line. I just don't have the tools to be able to actually replicate this bulge here, so I'm trying to stay inboard of that. I think we can make it work. We're just literally going to be on the leading edge of that, but if I had actual like an English wheel and a couple other things to be able to actually roll this, and a bead roller, then I'd probably go that route. But I'm gonna try and avoid it to the best that I can. And we're not doing anything too crazy tonight. I would like to get this cut out, at least cut out, and then start cleaning up that on the backside. You know, I really don't know the extent of this. It could be on the inside panel all the way down here. I don't know. And I'm not going to know until I've cut into it. So just bear with me as I try to figure this mess out. Yeah, we do want to stay inboard of that, like I was saying. But yeah, I appreciate anybody that's actually watching this. You know, it's probably not very entertaining, but it's something that we gotta knock out. Let me grab a straight edge real quick. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So we're gonna take our straight edge here. using. Um, so we got a square here, but if you think about it, you're not going to really be using a square, because if you use a square, then this piece right here is going to be way out here whenever you actually get done cutting your arch. So you need to kind of figure out what you got going on here. That way you can kind of draw it out, if that makes sense. Because we're going to be tack welding it, and then we're going to attempt to contour this, even though it's quite a bit has disappeared from the rust. But we need to tack weld it a couple of spots, and then we're going to heat it up with MAP gas, and we're going to try to contour this edge here that has a multiple. So we got flat here, and then we got probably a 10-degree, 7 to 10-degree bend here. So if I draw it in here, it'll make more sense, because you probably can't see it on camera. So this is a different angle than this flat surface here, another 90-degree bend here. So we're trying to compensate for that. Kind of eyeballing it. I don't do body work, just a heads up if you can't tell, but I've done enough sheet metal to try and figure this out already. We're gonna kind of wing it. It's kind of the name of the game. So we got our arch here. We got bend here. We got, and then our final surface. We need to kind of guess what it is on the bottom. We're gonna end up leaving a little bit extra for that, because there's really no way of measuring it down here. So we're gonna kind of measuring this. Let's see. Honestly, that looks like about 0.75. And then our secondary angle is around ½ inch. And then our third measurement, we can always flip this guy. Let me grab a dowel caliper. I'll be right back. Give me like 30 seconds. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry to leave y'all hanging. Veneer caliper. That'll work. Alright, I think we're good as far as zeroing this guy. Okay, so it doesn't have to be exact. The thing is getting pretty close, but then leaving enough room for error. That's really the name of the game. So even if you do get perfect, you're still gonna have issues because, well, nothing's gonna be perfect, and if you're trying to contour something that's rotted out, you're never gonna get the right contour to this. So you're gonna have stack up tolerances, and it's just one more thing that you have to take in consideration while you're doing it. Just try and get a feel as far as various all right, so we got, and this here is going to be this inner lip that you don't necessarily see from the exterior of the car, and that's this guy here. This is a straight line, but in reality it's not. It's going to be a curved arch here, and this is just for peace of mind in my head as I sit here and try to form this metal and replicate what is no longer here due to the rust. Once that's contoured and all, and then this will be our termination on the inside here down this edge. So I'm gonna get this guy cut out, and then what we'll probably do is we'll go in here and clean this guy up, get that remaining Bondo out of here, tack weld it, heat this thing up, heat the patch panel up, and then manually contour over this guy. Thing with rust to think about is we're losing metal as it eats it, so it's not really going to change. So you're not really going to gain metal. So area would be right in here. You're losing arch. You're not going to gain it. Contour this down through here, then you'll be golden. I know that doesn't make sense until it's actually applied and you can actually physically see it. So we're going to get this cut out real quick. I'm going to use some electric shears for that. We're going to change our little orientation here. Sorry guys, just bear with me. It's my first time live streaming. So get you locked in there. Like I said, this is just literally a shear. I call it a shear. I don't know if it's necessarily a shear. It's swivel head shear. So yeah, it is a shear. But Harbor Freight, man, it's really not that expensive. Harbor Freight actually stepping their game up, so they have a lot of nice stuff. So we're gonna go through, shear this off, and then we'll shear that backside off, and then, like I said, clean that up, tack weld it, and then start from there. So let me get over here where I feel comfortable and not crowded. Hopefully that works there. It should work. Make sure this is framed about decent. Alright, that works. Alright, this guy, so what this guy does, you know, you got metal shears that you can go through and shear this off. It works. This works good. Sometimes it acts up, but And that's what we lost this time. So, yeah, it's kind of like a cost versus speed. And then here's our little patch panel. So, gonna change the view back up again on you. To get you over here. And now hopefully it's kind of starting to make sense. We're gonna go in here, tack weld this guy, heat this guy up, contour it to the body. And the thing is, heating it up is going to allow this to become more malleable. And then the only reason that I'm keeping this here in right now, and that's literally right now, is just so we can attempt to contour this, and it kind of gives us not necessarily a jig, but something to work off of. It helps us in guessing where this should actually be and making it work in our heads. So once this is contoured and bent into shape, we're then going to grind our little spot welds off and then cut this guy off. And then once this is already formed, then this guy will be put in here. And then our final welds will be put in. And then, you'll be good. So it's kind of where that is. So I'm going to swap over, clean this guy off a little bit, and make sure there's nothing right there that's hidden, because there's a little bit of Bondo right there. Guys, this is aggravating. I did not want to find this whenever I was pulling my side skirts off. It's supposed to be a simple swap, but it is what it is, and we're going to make the most of it. Sometimes life throws you curveballs, and you're not expecting it. In my case, I was not expecting to have to do all this sheet metal. I thought I had a really nice minty car, but, well, I guess I don't, man. So, you live, you learn, you try to make the most of things, and you just go from there. So, we're going to go in and clean this guy up and then do that. So, I feel like I'm just rambling on, so sorry about that. Let me grab an angle grinder, and I'll be right back. All right, we got a couple grinders here. Just gonna blast this out real quick. See what we got going on, and then go from there. Alright, hopefully that didn't hurt your ears too much. Trying to get a gist of what's going on now. Gotta go back in and redraw our lines here. Alright, we got our lines drawn. we're gonna go in and tack weld this guy in, and then heat it up, and then try to contour that surface there. Let me get the welder hooked up, and then actually let me hit that real quick. One little spot. How to not clean. It's the closest thing I had. Don't judge me. Alright. Let me get my drop cord over here for the welder, and then we're going to plug it in. Safety first, boys. Is anybody in there in the live chat, or anybody still actually watching this mess? I'm gonna clean off the lenses a little bit. Got a little bit of something all over everything. But alright. Let me grab some. I don't need gloves. Yeah, I need gloves. Yeah, the live stream format's definitely different, man. It's definitely a different animal. Yeah, so that's about that as far as the live stream. I don't know how I feel about it. If you actually enjoy this live feed format, leave me a comment below. Let me know I'm doing something right, because I feel like I'm definitely not doing anything right. But anyways, let's get this thing tack welded in and then go from there. Alright, so the theory behind this is if we tack weld it, then we'll have better ability to contour this edge here. Well, if it decides to stay tack welded, I'm going to heat this edge up here and try to form it around this arch here. That's what I'm going to end up doing. And then once we get this first bevel, we're going to lose some of our radius as we're trying to roll this around. And that's perfectly normal. It's like bending roll cage tubing. You're going to have some material that you lose while you're trying to contour around that edge or the radius that you're bending around. So that's just something to keep in mind. But guys, if you don't mind, like this video. If you feel like this video is cool, or if you like the live feed format, please share it. Like, this is my first time doing live stream. I don't know if I'm going to continue doing live stream, but if you guys like this format, please feel free to share it. I'm going to shut the welder down for a moment. We're going to try and get this guy hot. And then we're going to hit it with all the improper hammers. So let's get this warm, and then we're going to try and contour this edge here. Oh yeah, you see the heat coming in? So once you get the heat into it, you should be able to just... Oh, nope. That did not work. Alright guys, I look like an idiot, so we're going to have to actually... Ooh. It's a little warm, guys, and I got powder coat everywhere. So that's what happens whenever it's live stream, man. What's up, Matt? How's it going, man? We're trying to make things work that are not wanting to work, if that makes sense. Probably would have helped if I did a little bit more prep, but we're gonna make this work. We're not gonna admit defeat yet, so just bear with me. We're gonna make this happen. Yeah, Matt. So this is a little bit of a different format, right? I definitely appreciate you dropping in and checking it out. Obviously, body work is not something that I actually do, so we're just kind of winging it right now, and then seeing where it ends up. Yeah, I think I might be able to possibly get something in there to vice grip it. I do have all of my vice grips over here for the most part. Let's see what we can do. Problem is the arch over here. I'm working with the inner fender and then trying to... Yeah, we might actually be able to get something to work. How's everybody's week going? Kind of off subject, but guys, we gained... Where are we at? 675? Guys, we gained literally 75 subscribers in a week. And don't ask me what's going on because I don't know, but I'm not complaining. Yeah, don't try to touch metal that's changed colors. It's not really cool. Literally, it's not really cool. Let's see. See what we can do. That's a little bit better.
Let's get a better brush.
How's work going for everybody? Has everybody been having a decent work week? Man, we've been slammed. Obviously, today's the end of month for us, so we've just been trying to turn out anything that we can. Man, I had a lot of cars that I didn't think I was going to get done, but we ended up getting them done, so. Who said you can't cure powder coat with a torch? They're definitely lying. Look at that. That's cured. It's not coming off. What do you think about that? Alright, so we're going to cheat. And we're not going to cheat. Yeah, we're going to cheat like that. How about that? That works. Alright, let's try and tack weld this. We don't get too committed to that because we're gonna having to grind those off. Once we get this actual shape into this patch panel, we're gonna end up having to grind these guys off, and we're gonna go in there and cut out the original sheet metal. So let's shut the welder back down and then try and reform this guy. If we can get these vice grips up above, I don't think we're going to have any luck with that. So I think we're going to have to literally form it off of these welds, which I think's definitely going to work. If I can get one more weld there, we'll definitely be set on that. I'm trying to put a weld down here at the bottom of this arch. That way it has something to kind of leverage against, if that makes sense. I know that's kind of vague. Alright, that's probably good there. Shut this down so you can actually hear me. Take this guy off. And like I said, guys, there's probably a better way of doing this. I don't do body work. I just have messed with some sheet metal in the past, and that's about it. That's the extent of my knowledge as far as this. We're just trying to make this work. We had a lot of success on the other side. We're just trying to replicate that, if that makes sense, guys. So please cut me some slack while we're sitting here trying to do this. We're just kind of going with the flow, chilling out. We got a couple guys in here. Hope everybody's having a good week. Not really trying to get too much accomplished tonight. Literally just testing out the live stream capabilities of our channel, and then just kind of rolling through there. But yeah, let's get some heat on this guy and see what we can do. Guys, like I said, I'm doing this without an English wheel or anything, so try and bear with me. She's warm. She's real warm. Real warm. Oh, man. We're getting it done, aren't we? Alright, let's go in with a hammer and try to contour that. Guys, I don't even have body hammers, so we're just using literally whatever kind of hammer you call this. So guys, we got, hold on, I just want to show you this. I know I'm going to lose my heat, but look at this. Like, this is pretty impressive for way up through there. That's pretty ridiculous for just some hack job that we're doing right now. So, like I said, don't judge me. This is most definitely not probably the correct way of doing this, but we're doing this, so. Let me grab a, let me see if I got a wire brush for drill. Literally that works, guys. So obviously it's not perfect yet. We still got a lot of work to do. But the theory is that I can now go and grind these spot welds and go and grind these spot welds down and then pull this guy off, go in and cut out our existing sheet metal that we have in the quarter panel, our rust spot, clean these guys up, and then we'll lay our beads around all this guy. And then obviously we'll glaze coat it. But we won't glaze coat it. We'll weld this guy in, wire wheel it, grind everything true, go in epoxy coat everything, because the epoxy coat will seal everything. If we were to do body filler before doing the epoxy coat, then there's a potential for moisture to get behind that guy, or a potential for the body filler to soak up the moisture. So we need to seal it, then we can do our body work on top of it, and then we'll epoxy coat it, and then we'll do our base coat and our clear coat. Let's see. Alright guys, grab the wire brush. We're going to clean this up a little bit, see what we're working with. Guys, I can't believe that actually contoured that good. That actually contoured really nicely. We're gonna do a little bit of hammering. Guys, that's not bad. Like, Heating that guy up is the money, man. Hold on, reconnecting. Let me grab our light so we can see what we got going on. Alright, so we should be back reconnected. Let me get a light. Everybody that's been touching and actually been hanging out. Alright, so this is what we got going on. Just chill. So what we're gonna do is we need to contour this all the way up. You can actually draw a line. Alright guys, what do you think about that? Pretty decent line. So the thing is so we started doing our thing here. We need to go in and cut this guy out, and then pulls back here. Sorry, I got you on a bucket. That's the best thing I could find right now for. Let me grab my cat. These guys are actually awesome. Obviously, they're not a sponsor of the channel or anything, but Reach, Dixon Reach, they're literally like little Sharpies, but they work really well if you need to get in somewhere really tight. Say you drill a kind of pass through and you want to mark it on the inside. Dude, gonna lie. So I've used these a lot. I grabbed it at like Home Depot or something. I think it's literally the cost of a normal Sharpie. So just a heads up on that. Something you might want to check out. I don't know. But yeah, when you come in here, cut this guy, grind them out, and then before we do that, I want to go in here and make sure that we got good lines on this stuff. It'll just make life easier as far as duplicating where we're at right now on this. Yeah, that should be pretty good. I think this, I want to pop this dent out. We ended up with a dent because there's literally rust has eaten that, and we didn't have anything to form this against, so we ended up with a little dent. So I'm going to need to fix that once I get this thing off. So I'm going to come in here, throw some safety glasses on, grind these spot welds, pull this panel back off, and then finalize this, cut this inside out, and then we'll be able to cut our actual sheet metal out of the quarter panel, and then this guy will get welded in. So that's what we got going on now. Just to capture everybody up there, just to catch everybody up that's new here on the channel. We did get a couple guys in now that are probably not here from earlier. So yeah, just bring everybody up to speed. Obviously, I'm not a professional. I don't claim to be a professional. I'm just trying to make this work because I don't have the money to pay somebody to make this work for me. So that's kind of been my entire life, has literally been, I hadn't had the money to pay somebody, so I've been having to figure it out. So hopefully you hear and you share the same standpoints on stuff. So let's get this. Anyways, I'm just rambling on. still live. Alright, so there's the start of our patch panel. We're gonna go ahead and cut this guy. It's a little bit warm still, so
Throw a glove on.
I'm gonna kind of freehand this. Guys, I'm pretty happy with that. We're gonna call it there for the night. It's 11:20 here on the East Coast. As you can see, we're just making this work. We gotta go in and obviously kind of get framed back up here. Went in, created this patch panel. We'll probably start back up Thursday evening. Tomorrow I got some stuff going on at work. I'm not going to have a chance to do this. So if you want to come back Thursday, we're going to do another live stream. We're going to do cutting the panel out here. We're going to be cutting this guy out. And then welding in our patch panel. As you can see there. We're going to do that Thursday night. So probably around 6 p.m. Thursday, I'm going to go back and start another live stream. Try to get this guy Try to get this guy welded in. We got to go in, cut into the panel, clean that guy up, seal it, get everything good on that side of it, and then weld our panel in, epoxy, primer it. We're going to do a glaze coat over it, epoxy primer it again, and then we'll head with our base coat and clear coat. But yeah, guys, I appreciate everybody that's, give us the benefit of the doubt, came into our live stream, said, hey, what's up? A lot of guys stopped by, didn't really say anything. That's straight too. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Yeah, man, if you haven't done this, there's a lot to it. Live streaming is unedited, and you see all the mess ups and everything that doesn't go into the average video. I'd say 9 times out of 10, every video that you see on YouTube is well beyond edited, and there's so much stuff that you're not seeing going on behind the scenes. And I think this live stream format definitely puts things in perspective and doesn't give the content creator any cushion to fall back on. So yeah, guys, I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm making things work with what I have. I can't afford to pay somebody else to do it, so we're just gonna make it work. But we'll come back Thursday, weld this panel in, and then start moving forward from there. It wasn't necessarily what I was wanting to find whenever I pulled the side skirts off, but it is one of those things. You just kind of take your blows and make the most of it, guys. The more you look at this, the worse it looks. I'm not mad, but I am mad the fact that whoever imported this car literally slapped Bondo over it and then hit it with this terrible duplicate paint job and sold it off from there. It is what it is. We're going to make the most of it. We're going to make it work. If this is the only rust on the car, it's the only rust that I've found so far. It's aggravating, but at the end of the day, it's something that we can work through. We can figure it out. We can do this with the tools that we have here at the house. We're not going to let this get us behind. We're still going to get the car done and get it back out. So guys, I appreciate everybody that's came in. King of the patch, that's funny. But yeah, I appreciate everybody that's came in to this point. Like I said, this is our first live stream. If you wouldn't mind, hit the like button. It definitely helps us out. I may make a video out of this, probably not. It is so uncut and unedited that there's not much that I can make sense of this. But yeah, guys, have a great evening. I'm gonna go grab some supper. It's 11:30. I'm getting tired. It's been a long day. So, all right, you guys. Hope you have a good rest of your week. Touch base Thursday, like I said, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to try and go live again. right around that area. Don't hold me to it, but right around that area, we're gonna go live and get this panel knocked out, this thing welded in, and you'll be able to see what we were setting up for tonight. Just hope you had a great evening. It's been fun. Hasn't been real fun, but all right, guys, have a great one. Bye.